Chapter 12, Enlightenment. You open your eyes sleepily, feeling a gentle stroke across your cheek. Ella, forgive me. Kieran? As you blink up slowly at him, he smiles down at you sadly and bends to kiss your temple. I shudder to think what I did that caused you to flee, but I hope wherever you are safe. You're somehow not afraid, not here, not in this place, not with this Kieran. Kieran, it wasn't your fault. You couldn't help it, we simply ran out of time. There's the slightest hint of relief in his features. That is something, then. Know that I could never hurt you, not on purpose. I know. He sighs heavily. Perhaps it is better this way. You'll be safer away from here. Away from me. Cool fingertips slide across your cheek as he takes in every detail of your face, your eyes full of longing and regret. At least my dreams saw fit to grant me one last glimpse of you. What shall I dream of now, I wonder? Well, this is my dream, so I'm sure... You sit up suddenly, studying his melancholy expression. Wait, Kieran, is this really you? Are we both? Ella? His eyes go wide as he slides an arm around your waist and pulls you closer. No, it cannot be. You're a figment of my imagination, some spirit conjured by my guilty conscience here to taunt me. No, Kieran, it's me. I'm really here. You crash into him, kissing him with all of your worth. Eventually, he pulls back, raising fingertips to touch his lips in wonder. Almost every night since your arrival, I have had dreams that begin just like this one. You blush, realizing that every dream before this was not only in your head. I know, I was there. It's always been me, Kieran. He grins, slow and savage, and takes you by the chin. And kiss me like that again. You blush, lips seizing his hungrily until you're both gasping. Something shifts, the scene fuzzing slightly at the edges of it as it dissolves in a mist. Kieran pulls back, searching your face with wild eyes. I do not know how this magic came about or how long it may last, but I am not yet ready to let you go. Stay with me here a little longer, as long as fate grants us. Stay in the dream with Kieran. So TLDR, I have really great dreams, where basically this real life, this plane of existence, right? It's can be pretty, nature's nice and everything else, but when I dream, the colors are so vivid and everything is just so much more beautiful, and you just really want to stay there. And yeah. I'll stay with you for as long as I can. Every moment is more than I had hoped. You lean forward to capture Kieran's lips, and his hand grasps the back of your neck with eager strength. Tell me I did not hurt you. You didn't. The beast-repelling charm worked perfectly. He gives a nod, but you sense a twist of his heart at the words. I didn't want to leave, you know. But you and I, it was never gonna last, was it? Don't speak of it, not now. He pulls you into him, and you clutch him back with desperation. Dimly, you're aware of the world shifting around you. The shimmering blue and purple clouds swirl past, full of twinkling stars that look close enough to touch. Kieran, how is this happening? How can we share dreams like this? There is more to this world of magic than any one being could ever learn, even me. He strokes your cheek and gazes at you with surprising tenderness. Apparently we share some deeper connection than conventional magic, but I already knew that. Will it fade, do you think? Will we continue to be able to meet like this? I truly don't know, but I dare say the odds are against it. He smooths his thumb across your furrowed brow. Do not worry. I'm sure your dreams will soon cease to be haunted by visions of me. You'll soon sleep peacefully at long last. That's not what I want. Isn't it? You aren't the monster you think you are. His smirk is wry and mirthless, and yet more monstrous than you wish to admit, Ella. His eyes flit back and forth between yours, a question there in the dark depths. If we should not meet in the waking world again, let me leave you with fonder memories than when we last parted. His fingertips dart along your bottom lip, teasing, tempting. What shall it be? You know all of you is going to go where I think it is, so I'm just going to go with a kiss. Gladly. He captures you by the nape of your neck, tilting back your head to expose your throat, kissing his way down. Oh. He returns to your mouth, devouring you in a kiss so long and sumptuous you could spend a lifetime in it. And as if he may never get another chance. Ella. Don't stop, not yet. Ella. But whatever he is about to say is drowned out by the rushing in your ears. Suddenly the world seems to break, Kieran's gone, and you have the sense of falling a long way through the cold darkness. You lingered with Kieran in your shared dream. Ella, darling, are you awake? Kieran? But as you open your eyes to a room of unfamiliar finery, drenched in dazzling light, reality replaces dreams. Oh, it's Radiance. The door opens and your two human servants enter with their eyes downcast, followed by the beaming day prince. I thought I'd find you already up. Just look at you, with loveliness to rival the dawn. You were so eager to see the library, I thought perhaps you'd like an early start. Oh, that's very thoughtful, thank you. Prince Radiance smiles benevolently at the servants as you sit up and try to regain your bearings. You're in hell. Kieran, I'm so sorry. Attend to whatever our guest requires. A bath, fresh clothes. He reads the listless melancholy on your face and smiles gently. And perhaps a cup of very strong tea. Do you happen to have coffee? Or Earl Grey, I'll take it. That would be lovely. Yes, Your Highness. Right away. You finally enter the library, a stunning, multi-level labyrinth lined wall-to-wall with books as far as you can see. An awed gasp escapes your lips. Oh. Do you like it? It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Not more beautiful than me, I hope. Yes, more beautiful than you, sorry. Of course not. I am in my previous statement. There's just so much, I hardly know where to begin. It can be quite overwhelming, which is why I'm here to help you. Oh, I'm sure you're busy with more important... Radiance turns you to face him, squeezing your shoulders reassuringly. Nothing is more important. I shall do whatever it takes to help you break the curse, no matter how long it takes. You're so generous. Thank you. He leads you to a plush ivory-seated, expansive marble table. I know this library inside and out. It'll go much faster with my help. Where shall we begin our search? Well, let's look for books about... broken hearts. Perhaps there's something that about healing broken hearts that we'll find useful? Good thinking. Radiance returns with a stack of thin books, edges beautifully gilded with gold leaf, and you're soon frustrated. These are mostly about mourning loss and poetry about unrequited love. We need literal, not metaphorical. Oh, needing to fret. Let's broaden our scope, shall we? But hours later, your back aches. Words are swimming on the page. You're no closer to an answer. I haven't found a single thing that might be useful. Have you? Radiance closes the book before him, lips pressed in a thin line. Not yet, but as I said, we have plenty of time. You stand and stretch. I never knew how much work it was to sit in one place all day. You deserve a break. Come, take a turn with me in the sculpture gardens. Some fresh air will revive your mind and spirit. But we're hardly made any progress. You've worked so tirelessly. You'll not betray Kieran with a momentary break, I promise. You'll be no good to anyone if you exhaust yourself. One must not tire themselves on the first day of a long journey, after all. You may have a point. Really? A diamond choice that goddamn quick? It's only been a couple minutes, really. That sounds lovely. What are up with your pants? Also see-through shirt, really? I just now noticed. Wonderful. Radiance beams and offers you an arm. Thank you for this, my lord. For everything. Your friendship is welcome balm to my heart. You have been in my thoughts ever since we first night we met, Ella. I was so glad to find you on my doorstep. I am very relieved to have you here safe at last. He squeezes your hand as you round the bend, and you gasp. The grounds are studded with sculptures made of pure light and gold. Oh. You like it, of course. This all looks so much better when everything is in full bloom. You approach the nearest statue, marveling at how some fey artisan has frozen light within the sculpture, cascading down like a glowing waterfall. It's, well, magical. Many of these were created by one of our most famed scholars, Prisma. It is one by her apprentice. Some say he even exceeded her by the end of his career. Radiance happily relates the backstories of the sculptors and details of their craft with great detail. It takes a lifetime to master the magic necessary to capture light and bend it to one's own will. Light wants to be free to fill every space it can reach. The artist must coax it into a form. It takes a great amount of control. The artist must have great control over themselves. This is the very first and most important thing they must learn. You seem well versed in this art. It was a hobby of mine when I was young. Unfortunately, I was not able to progress beyond amateur. Royal duties often keep me too busy, of course, but I come here often as I can. It revives me. Did you always know you would be heir of the Sun Court? I was groomed for it from the time I was very small. By your uncles? They seem like they would have been strict taskmasters. Is a lot of pressure, yes. I imagine it was difficult for Kieran to grow up with all the amount of pressure on his family's crown alone. I, at least, had the support and guidance of my family. Still, it must be difficult, a burden to bear. Radiance is lost in thought for a moment. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, isn't it the same? But I flatter myself that I have grown well into the role. You think of Kieran, alone, but for the sweet, long-clawed aging Sir Montgomery, and your heart twists. Even within the court, one must be on guard for dissent and disloyalty, anything that could divide or weaken us. There's always someone angling for the right moment to seize an opportunity. One small mistake, one unfortunate misstep can be your downfall. Hence, Radiance, don't you have anyone you can trust? What do you mean? Someone with whom you can let your guard down and be at ease. I'm at ease right now. You're not afraid someone's gonna stab you in the back at any moment? He laughs. If someone at my court were capable of besting me, I would already be dead. He approaches a dormant rose bush, nimbly plucking a stem just starting to bud. This reminds me of you. So much beauty and potential with just a little encouragement. He offers it to you, and as you watch the golden petals unfurl, bursting into bloom. Thank you. I've known quite a few mortals, but you, Ella, stand out amongst the rest. Not many humans of my acquaintance, and far few of you, Fae, would give so much of themselves to help another. It's nothing special. He cups your chin, gently turning your face to look at him, and smiles sadly. It is, Ella. I can see why Kieran was so drawn to you, such a bright ray of sunshine in this gloomy world. I feel myself, feeling somewhat envious to have the loyalty of such a friend. Your Highness? I want to keep walking. My lord, I'm very lucky to have found such a kind friend in the Sun Court. This has been quite refreshing. Shall we continue our walk? I'd love to take a closer look at the sculpture over there. You give him an apologetic smile, and he moves on easily. Of course, my dear. Let me show you. Listen, I just met the dude. You want me to kiss him already? Really? That evening, after many further hours of study, Radiance practically shoos you out of the library and towards the dining hall to get something to eat. The grand room bustles with activity, many fae turning to stare as you enter. It's the mortal that was claimed by the Moon Court. Come, mortal. You must sit with us. That's where you've been since, that one sci-fi book. One of the Fae leaps up from her seat and hurries over to you, taking you by the arm to lead you over to their side of the table. Oh, thank you. I hope I'm not intruding. Not at all. We've heard so much about you, Ella. You fill your plate with various exotic foods, and as you dig in, the Fae chatter all around you. We're so glad you were able to get away from that horrid moon cord. It must have been terrifying being trapped in the crumbling old palace with that awful prince. It wasn't. Don't worry, we're far more civilized here in Suncourt. I don't understand. What's wrong with Mooncourt? Isn't it obvious? Just look at the state of them. Their palace has fallen to ruin, and there's only a single royal left. But none of that is their fault. They've just lost so many people over the years. Oh, that's just proof of their foolhardiness. When members of court are allowed to do whatever they wish, it's bound to cause trouble. Not to mention they took in all kinds of strays, with no regard for who they were, and treated them as equals. We once had a princess who was quite insistent on spending all of her time with those beneath her station. She met a terrible demise. What happened to her? She was eaten by a monster, poor dear. They say there were a few scraps of clothing left by the time the guards arrived. But that doesn't sound like anything that to do with who she spent her time with. You're adorable. Not like any of the humans we've met before. How do you mean? Well, you talk more for one. Most humans are so shy. You pluck a small round berry off your plate and pop it in your mouth, and one of the Fae looks at you quizzically. That's meant to be eaten with a fork. Oh, I'm sorry. How rude of us. You can't be expected to know proper etiquette after so much time among the uncivilized. If there's anything at all we can help you with, just let us know. Well, I would love to know more about the leaders of the Sun Court, if that's not an improper question. Of course not, darling. Ask away.
Lord Blaze and Brightness, Prince Radiance, and Princess Lustry.
Well, let's go with
Blaze and Brightness.
You know, it's been so long since I did that voice. Who remembers Bloodbound? I do. They're the oldest Fae left among us, and therefore the wisest. They have seen so much more than any of us. They didn't seem to like me much. Do not take it personally. Lords Blaze and Brightness favor our prince most of all. They have little time for anyone else. I honestly cannot remember the last time I spoke with either of them. They're quite busy ensuring our kingdom remains as strong as it always has been. They seem to have a lot of power here. Did either of them ever rule court? No, but that was their sister's job, and they've been advisors to the crown ever since. Prince Radiance's mother often sought their counsel. It was a dark day when she left us. I hadn't realized. The clock suddenly chimes loudly, announcing the late hour, and you nearly jump out of your seat. Because of a clock? Oh, no, I lost track of time. I've got to get back to the library. Are you sure you can't stay and talk a while longer? I'm afraid not. I've got to find some way to break the curse. What curse? Are you cursed, Ella? They don't know about Kieran's curse? No, nothing like that. It's just a matter Prince Radiance asked me to look into. Well, in that case, good luck. Feel free to join us again. There's much I'd love to hear of the mortal world. Days go by in a blur of dusty pages, faded texts, and with no end in sight. Once again, you find yourself trudging away towards the library. The book you'd brought back to your room the night before, feeling heavy as lead in your arms. There must be something. I can't give up. I made a promise. Turning a corner, you stop short at a familiar sight and a very unwelcome face. Hello, pet. Lustry slinks towards you like a panther, eyes alight with malicious glee. Leave me alone. I don't have time for your games. You try to push past her, but she clucks her tongue and wags a finger in warning. I'm bored and wish to play. Cold fear twists your insides, and you fight to keep any sign of it from your face. You can't hurt me. Prince Radiance wouldn't allow it. You would be surprised at what liberties Radiance allows me, my naive little puppy. I'm an invited guest. It would be against your own laws of hospitality, and damn the laws! Sudden anger flashes across her face, but is just as quickly replaced by a placid smile in one terrifying instant. Fey law was not written to protect mortals. You are not Fey, and thus can I claim no protection. Luckily for you, little pet, I don't wish to kill you. Oh? She yawns with feigned boredom, covering her mouth with a graceful hand. I'm past that now. He leans in, tracing the embossed letters on the cover of a book you hold with a sharp fingernail. Love spells and curses, oh, adorable. It's sweet how hard the little mortal tries to save her poor tormented lover, right out of a gothic romance. But you're out of your depth. She knocks the book out of your hand with one swift, savage motion. Oops, do forgive me, I'm terribly clumsy. Her hands tighten in fists, hot anger burning away the tendrils of fear. You don't scare me, you know. You're nothing but a monster. Your heart knows only wickedness and hatred. You are a hollow shell of a person. Pretty as you are, you cannot hide the ugliness beneath. I could cut out your heart for such an insult, little mortal. I pity you, really. I may be just a mortal with a single short life, but at least I know joy and happiness and love. How awful it must be to live for centuries and hate every second of your miserable existence. Composure gone. Her fury is now raw and unconcealed, her face contorted and ugly with it. Kieran's trusting heart was his downfall. He will never love again. And certainly not some scrawny, simpering, plain, pathetic little thing like you. You think your Night Prince is so powerful, but it was my power that turned him into the broken, pathetic thing he is now. Rage blossoms in you like a flame until your blood seems to boil with it. I don't understand how you could do it. Are you truly so sadistic that you would spend all those years worming your way into his heart simply for the pleasure of breaking it? A vicious grin splits the princess's face, though her eyes still shimmer with hatred. Oh, you sweet thing. There is so much of me you could never understand. As for what happened during those blissful years, that's between me and the Night Prince. Read the tale of the wicked princess and hear the story of Kieran's curse from her perspective. Collect the wicked princess. The wicked princess. Lustry, the princess of the Sun Court, was admired by all for her beauty, charm, and wit. Even the taciturn and aloof Night Prince fell under her spell. He courted her with poetry and moonlight trysts in the palace gardens, but she cared little for romance and nothing at all for the prince. Her smiles and affection were weapons she wielded to gain trust, sow chaos for her own amusement. What she loved dearly above all else was power, and with her cousin Radiance being groomed to wear the crown of the Sun Court, she sought another route to the throne. Lustry became a frequent presence in the Moon Court, where she fawned over the prince and ingratiated herself, even with his trusted inner circle. It was all a fabrication, a ruse carefully crafted over many years for one sole purpose: to find a way through Prince Kieran's defenses. For years she played her part flawlessly. Kieran was slow to trust, but she gave no sign, no crack in the facade of her true ambition, until eventually the prince had no secrets left from her. She had studied his notes, devoured his library, and learned how to pick every lock that guarded his heart. And with an arsenal of wicked and clever magics, the princess executed her final plan one moonlight night, as her lover slept unawares. Had the Night Prince not awoken at the last moment, she would have succeeded. Instead of falling under her spell, the accidental curse made the Night Prince impervious to death, likely the opposite of what she intended. Lustry fled back to the Sun Court, but rather than offering her shelter, the elders condemned her to the dungeons in hopes of appeasing the Night Prince's wrath. There she remained for hundreds of years, forbidden all visitors but her closest family as punishment for her cruel ambition. If there was ever a deeper motive behind her attack on the Night Prince, she guarded that secret still. Two more, 13 and 16. You manipulated Kieran into letting his guard down so you could stab him in the back. You knew you were no match for him otherwise. You're a piteous fool, even by mortal standards, to think you can change what I have wrought. I will find the cure, here in your own palace. Stupid girl, you think you have fallen in some beautiful fairy tale, but love is no cure-all. An open heart is like an open wound. If you're not careful, it will bleed and bleed until there's nothing left. Kieran learned that the painful way. Fairy tale. Yeah, remember? That whole, we need something literal, not figurative. Yeah, no, you were wrong. Something in her words sparks a connection, something you skimmed earlier but dismissed. But baby, do excuse me, princess. I'm rather busy at the moment. Abandoning the dropped book, you dash past her, chasing a flicker of hope towards the Hall of Enlightenment. Come back here, you ill-bred, impudent little... You ignore her entirely, leaving her shrieking and alone. At the library doors, you break into an all-out run, footsteps echoing on the marble until you find what you seek. There you are. Breathless, you scan the rows of volumes and ancient artifacts and accounts of legendary figures. You heave a dusty tome from its shelf and flip through the delicate pages. The Obsidian Halls, Tales of the Speaking Sword. Here, the Hollow King. Trembling, you read closely through a story you had only skimmed before. It tells the story of a fae born without a heart, who nonetheless grew close to a talented musician in his court. When the king would feel no warmth of affection or pain of longing, he knew that he would not bear to live without his gentle bard. He laid himself open to her. She ran into his embrace, her own careful heart finally opening in turn. Thus the bard's heart grew to fill the emptiness within the king, allowing him to truly feel for the first time. You take a step back, suddenly hope surging within you like 1,000 birds taking flight. If Kieran and I can be open to each other, then Kieran's heart peace will be able to return. Tears prick at your eyes as you clutch the book to your chest. It's so simple, elegant, and it's just like a fairy tale. I did it. I can save you, Kieran. You rush back to find Radiance and hurriedly place the book down before him. What's this, love? I've done it. I can break Kieran's curse. And it's so very simple. Have you, indeed? It's right here, see? You point out the passage in the ancient tome, and Radiance peers over it. What do you think? Is the answer we're looking for, isn't it? If we confess our love, his heart and mind will be open to each other. And then the heart piece can return to him without hurting me. I dare say you found it. Wonderful, wonderful work, Ella. You were so much quicker than I expected. Something shifts subtly in a smile. His eyes become cunning, sharp, wicked. What do you mean? Lovely, sweet Ella. Who would have guessed? You take a faltering step backwards. Discordant notes screaming like alarm bells in your head. Some buried instinct urges you to run. But the next moment, you realize you cannot. Your whole body is held fast as though the very air is turned to stone around you. You struggle, but your feet are frozen to the ground. You're rooted to the spot like an oak. Come on, come on. No matter how hard you try, your body doesn't respond. Fear grips your heart in an icy fist. Only your eyes move, following Radiance as unhurriedly stands and walks towards you. Such a clever girl, Ella, and yet so naive, so very trusting. Didn't your parents teach you to be wary of the fae you meet in the woods? If only you hadn't taken off Kieran's amulet. That was some potent protection you willingly handed over to be destroyed, you know. But alas, you're mine now, as you should have been from the beginning. No, please. At long last, we can proceed to which we had worked for centuries. The final destruction of the Night Prince in his court. Kieran. What nefarious scheme have you fallen into, and how can you hope to escape? Alright, without further ado, thank you for watching. Please remember to like and share the video. Head down description below, links clearly down there, and feel free to check those out. There are links to support the channel as well. And there is also the join and thanks button. I am super tired. I've been seriously doing this whole book while literally only having my eyes open maybe like 1/20th. Oh, I'm super tired. I didn't get much sleep last night. We had a lot of weather, right? And then also the kitty, which if you have not noticed, there's some vids on the channel you should check out of the cute little guy. So feel free to check those out too. Super tired, so please forgive me if I do take a short nap before doing the next book that comes out today. Be greatly appreciated, but look forward to that. Without further ado, I love your beautiful faces. Thank you all for watching. Your continued support means a lot to me. And again, if you want to give back, feel free to. But without further ado, hopefully you're all having a great day. And hopefully you all have a great rest of your week as well. Yeah, thanks for watching again. Peace out.